Welcome to Tim Custom Model Cars, on location in one of his model car lairs. This is not the typical video that I post, but for my 100th video, I wanted to try to do something a little bit different. Most of the time, I'm behind the camera, cutting, grinding, and gluing little bits of plastic together, hoping to inspire you guys to do the same. So I want to thank all of those that have watched, liked, commented, subscribed. You guys knew what to do. It's hard for me to believe I've done 100 videos over the last 18 months. And I feel like I've only begun to scratch the surface of all the model car stories I have to tell. So for this video, I wanted to go back and revisit the models that I built specifically for this channel. I hope if you're new to the channel, you'll go back and watch those. Maybe you'll learn a few tips and it inspires to build one yourself. This is the first one built with the channel in mind. My 1970 Roadrunner USAC build. I was inspired by what Mark Batson, HobbyDude 007, was doing, and we had a discussion and he suggested that I give it a try. And sometimes I'm just not really all that good at being behind the camera. So I figured I would do this model and just give it a test. And this Roadrunner is highly modified. The body has been shortened to fit on a late model NASCAR chassis. I like how the Roadkill NASCARlo was built. A lot of the people that I showed this to while it was under construction, they didn't even get the modifications that were made. So what I wound up doing was putting the weld beads on all of the areas where I cut it and modified it, and then did a weathered finish and even put a vinyl top on it that has been weathered. And this isn't tape, this is multi-layered tissue paper, with the first level being unpainted and the next layer is painted, and then I picked everything so this actually has texture and stuffing coming out of it. So that was a pretty neat technique that I'd never tried, and I think it came out pretty well. The next model is bad news. This is a 32nd scale 32 Ford that I kit bashed with an Atlantis funny car for BG's small scale group build. This was the first model that I built on camera, or attempted to. And considering the short period of time that I did it, this model was built in 10 days. And the big thing about it is I never really finished it. All the pieces still come apart. Maybe someday I'll glue it together. Probably not. The next model I built was pretty radical, even for me. And it is the Maserati Boomerang flying car. And the thing about this model is you'll probably never see me display it at a show, because you really can't touch this. This was painted with Revell chrome paint right when it first hit the market. And the finish is very delicate, so I can't really touch it. So I added the blue areas are vinyl, like from a vinyl cutter. So then I could actually have areas that I could touch this. This model is filled with all little doodads. You hit the button back there, has LEDs in the wheels and in the interior. And then it has a button somewhere up under here that the rope light on the outside lights up. It has the jets are lit up. And then it even makes laser noises with this button. All of that fails to compare that this actually goes on a base, and this model actually levitates. It has an electromagnet in the base up underneath here in this, that when it's set on the base, the model will levitate, and spin around. And I thought that was pretty cool. The issue is it has to be plugged in at a show. And then the table has to be very secure because any kind of bump in it, it could send this thing off into outer space. This next one is probably one of the most fun models I've ever built. The Porsche Tractor. And this was again for an online group build. And again, BG said there would be that guy that would build the tractor. So I set out to really build the tractor. And this is what I came up with. This one, basically what I decided to do was make a hot rod tractor. And it has a Porsche 917/30 twin turbo flat 12 in it that some reports say it could have 1600 horsepower in a tractor. It is painted in the scheme of the Sunoco 917 that Mark Donohue drove. And I even went a little bit further by contacting my good friend Bill Cunningham to see if he could design and 3D print turbofan wheels for the tractor, because that makes total sense. As I said, this is one of my favorite models I've done. It even has working steering from the steering wheel. It has a rod that goes through with gears in it. So had a lot of fun with that one. This next one, I have to hand it to Sodak Model Cars for putting out a challenge to build a model naked. No, I kept my shirt on the whole time, but I came up with this Monogram 1957 Corvette. It was built out of that kit as a box art replica. And what it makes it naked is there is no paint whatsoever on this model. That kit is molded in black. And I took another kit that was molded in red and combined the two into this model that you see here. The decals that were in that 1982 kit weren't real good. So before I even attempted to apply them, I scanned them into the computer and then redrew them. And then these are my printed decals that I did on my inkjet printer. This was a neat kit. Built it in about a month, and it was a nice break from some of the more hardcore projects that I had going on. And then there's the turd truck. The USAC 1955 Ford pickup from the Monogram kit. I really didn't want to build this model, but here it is. It's done. And I kind of complained all along with it. My original plan was just to see how much I could cut up the truck and turn it into a 60s style show rod. Well, at some point I started putting Thunderbird parts on it, and it just kind of became the Bird Turd truck. It still came out pretty cool. It's got a removable hardtop and a semi-detailed supercharged Thunderbird engine in it. It's painted with splash paints, candy root beer. It took about 4.5 hours of spraying this color to get that finish. It came out pretty good, and I'm glad that I got through this project. And finally, there's Froggy. We've come full circle, back to another small-scale group build 1 year later. This is my first foray into 3D printing. I've had this kit for quite some time, and I always thought it would be neat to put a 2-rotor turbocharged engine into the back of this little Japanese K car. And so no kit has that, but 3D printing is a game changer. And now we can create all kinds of model car parts in all types of different sizes. And so that kind of opens up the scale to whatever you want it to be. And I've had a lot of fun with 3D printing, and you're going to see more of that in the future on this channel. So those are the models that I've built on the channel so far. I've got 2 more that are coming along quite nicely, and I hope you check out those videos. So here's to the next 100 videos, and be sure to like, comment, subscribe, you know what to do, because I have all kinds of model car stories to tell. Thanks for watching.